Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It Down. Before we continue through the Ivory Sanctum, to check out these tiles back here.
Together we stand.
A quick save before we do something that we're going to regret. Alright, so we don't want to just click on them. Oh, it looks like it might be a counting puzzle. So all these shapes have little dots on them, and then the circle is probably a big dot. So it'd be 1, well, I don't see a 2. If we can find a 2, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Maybe there's another tile in here that I'm just not seeing. Let's go get all this loot off the ground. Alright, let's read these again. Maybe there's a clue in one of these inspection points. Alright, that doesn't seem to help. Also doesn't seem to help. Also doesn't seem to help. Alright, we're going to send Lan around the room once. Maybe there's one hidden behind a perception check. Be pretty uncool, but it's possible. And I'm going to check my inventory for a note. Maybe we picked up a note off one of these cultists that I didn't see. Alright, I still don't see anything. No puzzle lacks a clue. So, how many statues? How many statues are there? 7. That can't be it. It doesn't match up. So I'm wondering if there's another tile elsewhere in the sanctum that we need to find. One with 2 dots on it. Alright, I won't forget about this puzzle. We will come back to it.
Follow my lead.
But I don't think that we have the clue that we need. Unless it's in the architecture itself. Let's take another look around. And there's a pattern in the wall that tells us like what order to click them in. Because since the puzzle harms us, I don't want to keep clicking on it and then burn through all my healing resources before we're done fighting through the Ivory Sanctum. Something tells me we're going to need them. Oh, I wonder if it's on the back. No, there's nothing on the back of the statue. Okay, well, shoot. In fact, it's probably going to pop this. After taking the damage that I just took. Alright, we're going to continue. Again, if I need to come back and brute force this puzzle at the end, I will. It's possible I'm also missing the clue somewhere in here. I just don't see it. But, again, because it hurts me, I don't want to continue taking damage. We're not done exploring the dungeon, so...
I'm glad I was useful to you.
I will help where I can.
A teacher. It's the Crusaders. They're already here. The commander himself is with them. Don't be such a coward. These pathetic knuckle-draggers are powerless before the might of the great Xanthir the Plagued One. The figure in the robe turns toward the cultist. Automatically takes a step back, bringing a hand to his mouth. There's no human face beneath the gray hood, just a swarm of shifting locusts. Did I not say what I would do to the next halfwit who dared call me by that ignominious moniker? Ooh, okay, well. Xanthir shakes one of his sleeves. A small swarm of locusts emerges from within it and envelops the cultist's head. Shrieking, he tries to get them off, but they have already buried their way inside, turning his face into one gaping wound. The unlucky cultist continues screaming desperately for a few seconds, and then his body explodes into pieces as the locusts burst out from within. You, come here. We still have time to complete the transformation. He beckons the demon over, and it scrambles eagerly toward the threatening-looking machines. Xanthir turns to his surviving students. And all of you, do as I've taught you. Try just this once to follow my instructions to the letter. If anyone drops another Hydrian crystal, you only have himself to blame for his horrific fate. Break the locust magic. You quickly realize that the wall of locusts is not magic in itself. You cannot break it as you would a spell. Disperse the cloud of locusts with your weapon. With deft movements, you scatter the buzzing insects into the air, creating a gap in the wall that you can pass through into the chamber. The demon summoned to the machine howls in pain. Paying no attention to you, Xanthir Vang places crystals in the demon's body, and you sense rather than see the demon change into something different, something more frightening than before. You look closer, and you realize that you've seen this type of crystal before. The magic chisel you found in Canabras is made from the same material. Xanthir Vang looks at his students, who are only just starting to carry out the procedure on their own demons. Cease your rummaging, dolts. Consider your lesson ended. You're working too slowly. Unchain these beasts and defend the chamber. Fight until the last. Did he just leave? Okay.
Our victory is certain.
Alright, let's get her in here immediately.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
I get everybody out of the hallway. I don't want them to get stuck in the doorway. Lan, you also come back here. Nenio back here. Tila needs to go forward and tank. Social. Bring my character out as well. Bismuth, you just kind of hold back for seconds since you're very big. This seems like a pretty tough fight. I'm going to throw out some summons, just to be safe. You guys should be attacking.
I will resist.
Alright, not a fan of all that damage. Hang in there, Nenio. Tila, what are you doing? Alright, just making sure you're up here doing something.
Mind over muscle.
Be gone!
Okay. We're in a little bit of trouble here. At least that's what it looks like. This locust swarm is giving us a run for our money. As long as we don't die. Frame rate is taking a huge hit here. Alright, hang in there, Sela.
Not dead yet.
Alright, you need to get back, buddy. Stay back there for now. And we'll do some cycle charging once we've cleared out some of the room.
Prepare yourself.
Again, stay back.
The light.
Alright, what a miserable fight. Jeez. I hate fighting swarms so much. And the frame rate here also did not help. Alright, did any of our main companions, she took a little bit of ability damage, as did she.
No reason to pause.
Let me help.
Oh yeah, screw that fight, man. Venom Inspired Wisdom +4. Keep an eye out for any notes that might help us with that puzzle. Bloodstained coded note. Crumpled blood-soaked sheet of paper on which it is just possible to make out the words Chamber Lord. Below there were 4 symbols, but only the first 2 can be seen. A 6-pointed star and a triangle. Okay, so this is part of the code that we need. Okay. So there might be another piece to the code.
I sense something.
Alright, Xanthir Vang on the nature of demons. The grubby, thumb-through pages are covered in cramped writing. At the narrow margins, the scraps of parchment stuffed between the pages, and even the spaces between the lines of text are crammed with annotations scrawled in pencil. Supposition that demons are by their very nature superior to mortals has acquired such lasting popularity that many now consider the matter of using primitive creatures of the material plane entirely settled. Note below the paragraph. Genius. You may call to mind the fact that mortal souls are one of the elements which, in their totality, brought demons into being. Receptacles for souls are thus of not insignificant interest. A note in the margin. Xanthir the Plagued One is questioning the foundational tenets of demonology. By conducting a basic experiment on the live transfusion of essence of sin and the creation of strengthening charms, we can observe the transformation of material into a saturated mucus typical of... the text here has been underlined several times. Among the smudged pencil marks that obscure the text almost entirely, one annotation is visible. Must try this. Negative experiences that are excruciating for the subject, a reliable marker in controlled studies. Advanced preparation makes it possible to enhance the emissions. Skinning the subject while preserving the nerve endings, removing ligaments, or performing a specialized form of lobotomy. The page is torn, but the words "get slaves" can be read along its edge. Demonstrating fragments of awareness locked in an endless cycle of torture, this is the most valuable specimen for future application in the form of... the rest of the paragraph is painstakingly blacked out with ink. A message has been left in the margin. If this is Xan, then you're reading the textbook you filched from me. Suck it, you little weasel. Without Xanthir the Plagued One's ritual, you're nothing. Get back to cleaning the latrines before the Plagued One chops you up to use in his experiments. Alright, 2 pressure plates.
Something over there.
Something is not right here.
Always be ready for the worst.
Hello there.
I finished here. Is there more?
Ravager of Dread and an apprentice lockpick. This ring grants the wearer a +4 morale bonus against confusion and fear effects. If the wearer fails a saving throw against such effect, after the effect ends, the wearer gets a +2 bonus on saving throws and +2 bonus on damage rolls until the end of combat. I mean, no one should fail their... well, any saves against fear effects. But it's probably better than this, so there we go.
As it should be.
A complex device combining technology and magic. Though those straps used to restrain victims, looks worn from frequent use.
Ready for anything.
I'm always open to ideas.
Alright, what did I just do? Oh!
Focus on the goal.
We will win this war.
We just opened this door?
That is not far.
So I burned through a lot of really
Something.
powerful resources in that fight, but I was super concerned. There's a lot of enemies, and I didn't realize Xanthir was
Is there more?
gone. I thought we were going to fight him as well. Out of my way. A cultist wearing a Descarite robe clenches his fists and glares at the servants of Baphomet blocking his path. The enemy is at the gates. You must release the specimens. That is a direct order from Xanthir the Plagued One. Hear that? Woman in armor decorated with an ox head emblem laughs disdainfully. Her fellow believers echo her mocking laughter. Xanthir the Plagued One gave us an order. A direct order. He said that to you, did he? You open it then. Go on. I won't stop you. Open the cage. We'll stand back and watch that beast bite your locust-filled head off. Now's the time for your petty grievances. I made myself clear the first time. We've been invaded. The enemies are inside the Ivory Sanctum. They'll be here any moment. Enemies have been here for a long time already, the Templar barks, and the cultist steps back in surprise. You came into our Ivory Sanctum, setting yourselves up as the masters, selling the place with your experiments. You know what this room used to be? A hall of converts, a monument to our greatest victories. The portraits of former enemies who switched to Lord Baphomet's side used to hang here. We kept their armor and the corrupted symbols of their pitiful godlings. The Xanthir the Syphilitic One ordered it all to be put into storage, and built a zoo in its place. There'll be no sanctum left if the Crusaders... Stop. The frightened cultist points at you. The eyes of everyone present are turned in your direction. Who goes there? I don't think I've seen you here before. What are those wretched creatures in the cages? The latest pet project of Xanthir the Poxed One and his cack-handed students. They haven't worked out how to transform demons properly yet. Half of them end up as these freaks. We're not even allowed to kill them. But the locust in the cloak said to keep them in cages so he can use them in his idiotic experiments. The only idiots here are you, the pathetic lapdogs of that airhead schemer you call a mistress. His experiments are necessary for understanding the entire process, for creating a perfect demon of the future. Without them, hey, hold on. Why would we tell you all this? Who are you anyway? You're not a crusader, are you? How can you call experiments idiotic? At worst, they're unsuccessful. You know how many seemingly irrational experiments have led to scientific breakthroughs? Precisely because ordinary people wrote them off as failures in advance. No one ever bothered to even conduct them. Ennio shakes her head. Dilettantes? Calling us dilettantes. I cut out your heart. Eat it before it stops beating. That's factually incorrect, my eager but poorly versed student of anatomy. It is impossible to cut out a heart and still keep it beating. If you wish to consume a beating heart, you have to do so while it is still inside the victim's body. That's interesting. The Templar looks at the cultist, and a pensive smile appears on her lips. Yes, I recognize that look. I see that you two feel the draw of knowledge. Remember, our world is a book. We have only read the prologue. Go forward, and strive for new discoveries. Yes, yes. I also approve of acquiring new knowledge. The cultist shrinks away under the Templar's gaze, hunching her shoulders. Why do I suddenly have a bad feeling about this? Yeah, we're on the same side. I came to warn you about the Crusader attack. Crusaders? Where? The cultists reach for their weapons. Now lure the cultists closer and attack. Now come with me. I'll show you. We'll destroy them together. Yes, in the name of Baphomet, the Templars brandish their weapons. Oblivious to the ruse, the cultists move away from the cages and step toward you. Oh good, that should stop the monsters from attacking us. Oh cool, we can do it however we want. Oh, nope, okay. They aggroed. I was gonna buff up a little bit beforehand. I thought I saw Coloxus in here, maybe I didn't.
I'll remove this obstacle.
Alright, let's cut them down one at a time. Cut away front to back.
The inheritor!
You crossed the wrong mob!
Guide my hand.
There we go. Nothing to it. I got the cage key. We're gonna fight this thing either way. Just didn't want to fight it while we're fighting everybody else too.
I will lend you my aid.
Did we knock a guy through the wall? I think we did. Alright, so what is this thing? Alright, so can we fight just one at a time?
Rely on me. A bright future awaits us.
They won't fight me?
Doubt is the heart's
Alright, let's get
greatest
some perception
challenge.
checks in here. What else she wants to fight?
Into the fray!
Fall!
Make your peace.
Seen that!
Expected outcome. This will hurt.
Okay. Didn't like them healing for all their health after they went down.
Lead on!
We will be
we go.
victorious.
The light!
Hang in there, Sela. We're coming.
Mind over muscle.
A calculated risk.
I will bring down the divine wrath! You are lacking.
Alright, we lost Bismuth. But I mean, that was bound to happen. Alright, circle the room with land. Make sure we don't miss anything tucked away in the walls.
We won't fall here. I swear it.
The inheritor! Guide my blade!
You won't survive me.
Into the fray!
I will resist.
This should do it.
Alright, can he get over here and dispel this?
Still fight.
Oh, he's taking a thrashing, isn't he? He'll probably cast heal on himself instead. He has 2 rounds, so I think he'll be fine. Nenio should not be up this close.
Need your assistance.
Let's try this way.
Where did... Oh, gosh darn it. I hate that mechanic so much.
I can still fight.
I'll have to reload here anyway.
This will hurt.
But Arushalai teleported out. So I mean, I'm short a companion now anyway.
This will leave a bruise.
I'll have control over her. I have Discord. Oh, knocked him to next week. Back here. Lan, what are you doing?
A calculated risk.
There we go. I mean, we won.
No reason to pause. I will help where I can. We will win this war.
I mean, barely, but we did win. Of course, she can't use that either. Can Ivor use it? Alright, because she has Cure Wounds. Like, maybe she can, cast Raise Dead. But now the problem is we're short one of our DPS characters. I really hate that mechanic. Like, just stay here and die like the rest of us so I can pick you back up.
I'll go ahead.
There's also our Trickery, our Trap Disarmer, and Lockpicker.
Please, be careful.
Time's not waiting. I know the way.
So I might have to
I know
leave
what to do.
and come back. Headquarters maps, scouting reports, mission plans. The officers will be very keen to take a look at these documents.
Can't hide from me.
Have we read this? Let me get back there and click on books. See if there's any other special things we can get for our character. Can a mortal become a god? Is the very idea blasphemy. A science relies on experience, not experiments, where there may be evidence presented in support. When science encounters theology, it recoils. The term evolution has no application to the divine spark, illuminates dull matter in incomprehensible ways. The foremost example is angels, to whom we owe the existence of our virtuous mortal souls, which brings us to a paradox. A mortal soul transforms into an immortal essence. There are many such breathtaking events, which each promise a connection to the divine. Sunny Serenray is perfect proof of this. The Starstone trial, a desecrated divinity, turned into a god's exam, where any trickster with a handful of spells who can avoid some traps and deadly maze may rise to divinity. Is the nature of divinity, then, so sacred indeed?
Follow my lead.
I'm gonna throw a full plate +3. That's one more armor class. I really like the effect on the Carapace armor. Might be worth giving to Regil. Alright, I'm gonna see about lockpicking this with Sela. I mean, pretty good odds, even without using a lockpick. We'll use one of these.
Call me again if you need to.
Fortune's Temper. Whenever the wielder of this +3 Holy Star Knife confirms a critical hit with it, All their allies in a 40-foot area are affected with the effect of the prayer spell for 6 rounds. That's pretty good. Alright, so can we leave and come back? Because I need to go grab Urushalai. And so what I might do is if we can leave, is do that off camera and then come back and pick up where we left off. Again, I cannot stand that mechanic. Two characters in Kingmaker had it. Luckily, there's only one in this game that has it. So it's not as bad. But since I'm using her, it's terrible.
That is not far.
I hate leaving dungeons in the middle of it like this, but man, I don't really have a choice. We have 2 potentially difficult bosses ahead of us, Jerebeth and Xanthir Vang. And I'm not doing that without a full party, so. Alright, I'm going to call the episode here. Off camera, I'm going to go back to Dresden, rest up, heal up, take care of some of this ability damage, grab Urushalai, come back to the Ivory Sanctum, and probably pick up in the room where we left off this episode. But for now, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.